Yeah, you have missed it.
I'm coming back.
Come back later.
I will be coming back.
Missed. Oh.
Yes, Mheshimiwa Chair for Education.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. It's a small report, but not take much, just some few minutes, Mr. Speaker, sir. This is as a result of a statement which was sought by Honorable Member representing Gder Ward. On February 17, 2021, Honorable Rashid Mohammed, member representing Gder Ward, requested a statement from the Chairperson of Education, Culture and Sports regarding disbursement of bursary financial year for 2019-2020. The member raised the following issues in the statement: the original list of beneficiaries submitted to Mandera County Bursary Board for financial year 2019-2020 as approved by the Ward Bursary Committee, the total balance that was not allocated for each ward, the list of beneficiaries whom the board could not submit to beneficiary institution for whatever reasons, the list of double allocation compiled by the Mandera County Bursary Board for each ward, and how the amount acquiring from the double allocation was utilized for each ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee on its sitting on Thursday, 18 February, deliberated on the statement sought by Honorable Ahmed Rashid, Gder Ward, regarding the disbursement of Ward Bursary for financial year 2019 by the member, by Mandera County Bursary Board, and resolved that the department provide a comprehensive response to the County Assembly within 1 week. However, the department did not respond on time despite the committee having several correspondences on the same, while the statement was pending with the committee. Similarly, the committee in its sitting on Thursday, 11th March 2021, deliberated on its earlier correspondences and noted that the department blatantly disregarded several committee resolutions for them to provide comprehensive response on the disbursement of the Mandera County Bursary for financial year 2019-2020. In addition, the committee resolved to invite the CCM for Education alongside with Chief Officer to shed more light on issues highlighted on committee's earlier correspondences on the statement sought by Honorable Ahmed Rashid of Gder Ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, on invitation of the CCM for Education and Chief Officer, on Monday, 15th March, the Director of Vocational Training, accompanied by the Fund Administrator of Mandera County Bursary Board, appeared before the committee to clarify on issues highlighted on the statement sought by Honorable Ahmed Rashid, MCA, Gder Ward, on the disbursement of Bursary Fund for 2019-2020. And they responded as follows. The original list, which was asked by the Honorable, submitted to Mandera County Bursary Board as approved by the Ward Bursary Committee. The Fund Administrator submitted copies of the original list of beneficiaries received from the wards to the committee for consideration. Mr. Speaker, sir, in your file and in front of you is the original list from the ward for 30 wards and the list submitted to various institutions in the county and in the country. It is with you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The total balance that was not allocated for each ward, when we asked them, the Fund Administrator stated that the total balance, which did not reflect on the allocation made to the wards, was used for other functions captured in the Mandera County Education Bursary Regulation in Part 4 of subsection 1 and 2, where it states that the total bursary fund for the subsection, the regulation says that once there are double allocations and the money they are balances, it's supposed to go somewhere, and it is in the regulation. I think honorable members are very much biased with that one. The total bursary fund for 2019-2020 is 110 million. 25% of the fund was allocated to corporate social responsibility of the government. 3% of the administration fee cost for the facilitation of ward bursary committees and board members, and Kenya 60 million was allocated to 30 wards. He also explained that the balance which was first allocated to Mandera Teachers Training College and Mandera Technical Training Institute and the affirmative program of sponsoring for 4 leavers who have attained D+ to pursue certificate in primary education so as to address the shortage of teachers in Mandera County. Later, there was an executive order from the governor's office to withdraw the bursary offer to the students who have no eligible grade to pursue the teaching courses following the Ministry of Education guidance declining the proposed affirmative action of admitting students with low grade of D+ into teaching courses. Honorable members, listen very carefully because this is a very important explanation. He further explained that COVID-19 has affected all learning institutions, especially those who are in abroad, were mostly affected in terms of upkeeps, housings, and were forced to virtual learning, which is exorbitantly expensive for them to continue with their studies. Hence, through the mercy and resolution of the Mandera County Bursary Board, the fund was reallocated to those vulnerable students to purchase laptops and other required items to resume learning. Minutes of the resolution of the board is annexed to the committee reports, Mr. Speaker, sir. He further added that fluctuation in exchange rates, dollars, and inflations necessitated them to relocate students from an area to another during the period of COVID-19 due to the exorbitant surge in the expenditure that they earlier anticipated. Now, the list of beneficiaries whom the board could not submit to beneficiary institution for whatever reasons. And the response is that the fund administrator responded that the bursary issuance is a continuous process. The board have been issuing, distributing checks on the beneficiary institution from the time funds was launched by His Excellency Governor on 15th of January 2021. He also stated that the submission of checks to the institution within the county and other major universities was done. However, the board had challenges of sending checks to the institution majorly in other parts of the country because of the weaknesses of the area, because of the vastness of the area to be covered, expenses, and lack of enough personnel to deliver the checks in person. He added that they have also managed to issue some checks to area members of county assemblies and trusted parents and guidance to deliver the checks to the institution on demand. On the checks which are in our disposal, we are to write an internal memo to the ward administrators to collect on behalf of the awards and send them to intended beneficiaries. On the third or fourth question asked on the list of double allocation compiled by the Mandera County Bursary Board for each ward, the fund administrator responded that there is no list of double beneficiaries compiled by the board for each ward, as the board were engaged in the process of disbursement of checks to the institutions. He also explained that there was no money lost and the double allocation for each ward were reallocated to the needy students chosen by area members of the county assembly with their request during their disbursement of checks since, that's a typing error. Yes, was reallocated to the student during the disbursement of checks since some of the private schools and other institutions earlier benefited from the bursary funds were closed due to COVID-19 pandemics. How the amount of accruing from double allocation was utilized for each ward. The fund administrator explained that under Schedule 5 of bursary regulation, multiple application for more than one ward will lead to automatic disqualification. However, the board is yet to sit and come up with the modalities of utilizing such fund, if any. Evidence and submission of the department. Submission by the fund administrator, Mandera Bursary Board. The fund administrator accompanied by director of vocational. I think you have the Nini, and this is what they have submitted. The original list of beneficiaries submitted to the Mandera County Bursary Board for financial year 2019-2020, the list of uncollected checks pending delivery, which is annexed, the list of 30 wards beneficiaries submitted by the office, which is annexed, written response submitted by the department, and minute of the board committee resolution. Honorable members, if you clearly look at the first table here, is the list as of beneficiaries. Not beneficiaries, but the amount of money allocated to the wards, in every ward. The second table you see is the amount of money they have disbursed for every ward to institution in Kenya and in the county. Not in Kenya, everywhere in institution in Kenya, and specifically in Mandera County. There's another small table here because of one reason here and there, because some individuals have finished institutions before they finish, before they get the bursary, changes were made by the bursary board, and that is the table. Now, let me go to the observation and finding by the committee. The committee observed that the majority of the ward administrators and the ward bursary committee had failed to submit proper records of the committee proceeding, including resolution minutes, payment schedules, and attendance register of Kenya shillings 60 million shillings released on March 20 to the bursary board on time, making it difficult for the bursary board to reconcile its report. The committee observed that the board is facing capacity challenges in effective management of bursary. The board had no permanent staff apart from the fund administrator. That's the only staff they have. The committee observed that the bursary board in the financial year 2019-2020 disbursed 57 million shillings, 775,278 to the beneficiaries out of a budget allocation of 60 million. However, the board is yet to sit and come up with the modalities of utilizing the outstanding balance of Kenya shillings 2,924,724. Honorable members, and that 2.9 million shillings is the amount of double allocation for every ward. Some wards have 500,000, some wards have 200,000, and some wards have 100,000. So the board has not yet delivered several checks to institutions causing delay in payment to the beneficiaries. Moreover, they has further delayed the process of expenditure returns in the financial year 2019-2020, and the board is also facing the challenge of shortage of staff in terms of reporting expenditure returns on time. The bursary board is yet to submit annual report on the operation and performance of bursary fund to the county assembly, contrary to section 7G of Mandera County Bursary Act 2014. The Department of Education, Culture and Sports had not yet operationalized the effective management system of accountability and transparency of the board. In addition, the board lacked permanent accountants and audit personnel for compilation of financial reports. The recommendation of the committee is that the recurrent expenditure of the Department of Education be increased, and the County Public Service Board should employ more staff for the bursary board in order to solve the problem of understaffing in the board. The committee recommends that the CC for Education should improve on the working relationship between the Department of Education and Ward Bursary Committee, the Bursary Board, and the Department of Finance for easy execution of the board. That the Bursary Board complies with the provision of Section 7G of Mandera County Bursary Act 2014 and submit annual reports on the operation of the funds to the County Assembly for consideration. That Kenya shillings 2.924722 of bursary, which has not been utilized for this financial year, be committed and brought forward for reappropriation for the same purpose in accordance with Section 1161 of PFM Act, County Government Act Regulation 2015, if they cannot be able to disperse before the start of the next financial year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.